Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well wherever you are in this crazy world. And today I'm going to be talking about the thing that is being most talked about recently, the Hantavirus. I also plan on getting back to doing regular videos, video requests, and talk about world events, just anything I feel like talking about without prejudice and without worrying about what other people think. So the hantavirus apparently was discovered in the late 70s, early 80s in South Korea as a respiratory virus. They're saying it's being spread by rat feces. I'm not saying there's no diseases, there's no viruses and things like that, but I truly believe that a lot of these really serious things that have been being quote unquote released are on purpose, and a lot of them are being created in labs and things like that. This is obvious to me. Weaponization of biological pathogens has been going on for a while, and I'm sure they've been used over the years in different situations. Recently, 5 years ago with the so-called pandemic, it was a perfect tactic to get everything that they want. I won't go into the whole thing, but money's involved, more control, and they use the ultimate weapon, which humans it's really hard for us to deflect, and defend against fear. Fear is something that is used against us so much in this world in order for those to get what they want. So apparently it started on a cruise ship. How they identified it as that, I really can't tell you. But one thing that I did see is there's a guy I think he did a video on social media talking about how we're not just cases, we're people, and he did this whole emotional plea. But apparently he's somebody who's being, been hired to do these types of PRs, probably for a World Health Organization or one of these other health organization groups, what are they called? Non-governmental bodies. And in order to spread fear, right? But he was doing I think the video from years ago was trying to get women to take the jibba jab in 2021 or 2022. I can't remember which year it was.
Gorgeous, gorgeous girls get vaccinated. Gorgeous vaccinated girls get boosted. And gorgeous boosted girls get boosted again if you're eligible.
But somebody identified him as the same guy who did a video. You could look it up yourself and just find the video. I don't know whether he was on the cruise or I'm assuming he was on the cruise based on him talking about how they're not just a case, they're people and they have feelings and all this stuff. But someone identified him in another video. So, they're really sloppy by covering up their tracks. So they're really also trying to cause another pandemic possibly in order to sell more of their goods, things that they have produced. Apparently, from another video I was watching, they had already started, I think it was, I'll post a picture of it so you guys can see and a link if you want to watch the video. But they had been in production, I think it was, I don't know if it's AstraZeneca and one of the universities have been already trying to produce a vaccine for the hantavirus starting in 2024, which is very strange. Only the fact that it's quite recent, right? Considering that this virus has been around since the late 70s, early 80s, why would you only be trying to produce a jib jab right now or 2 years ago? So it's really strange. The other thing that was the most strangest thing I've heard is that under the, what are they, the side effects of some of the jib jabs for COVID-19, one of them on the massive list of, side effects was Hantavirus. And I can show you the list too. I'll post that up so you guys can see it. It's all there. It's not like I'm making this shit up. So we all know that the jib jab caused a lot of problems for people. It's unfortunately unalived many people since 2021. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions, probably in the millions, I would say. There is a statistic, there is information that has the statistics on it. I believe it is in the millions worldwide, or at least in the United States alone. And yeah, so that's one of the symptoms of after taking the jib jab 4 or 5 years ago, or if people are still taking them, they're absolutely retarded, honestly. I'm not telling you to not take it. I'm not telling you to take it. I'm just saying, or any other medical, this is not medical advice whatsoever, but anybody who's willing to take it now, after everything that's happened, you're clearly never going to see any truth whatsoever in your life. But, so the Hantavirus, I've heard a few doctors, scientists saying that the symptoms are quite mild, if any. One of the things I saw that was hilarious, I don't know who was it posted. If I can find it, I'll post it. Talking about how one of the symptoms of, like they tried that 5 years ago, one of the symptoms of Hantavirus is no symptoms, asymptomatic. Like, they think that they think that people are that stupid. I mean, a lot of people are stupid because they automatically believe what the authorities say, especially like World Health Organization and all these others. And the other thing is, a lot of these organizations over the last few years have lost so much credibility, all the trust, if they even had any. I mean, I never trusted any of them anyway, but anybody who did trust them, for the most part, who has realized the bullshit that they have been spewing and the stuff they've tried to pass on to people as medicines, all for profit, all for control, have zero credibility with many, many people. Sure, there's still going to be a lot of people who buy into it, but I've seen so many messages online, so many comments saying how nice try and who's going to trust you again, nice, WHO and what's the other one in the US? I forget the name. Gavi and all these other ones. The health department of the United States as well. The one that was pushing all the jib jabs in 2021, 22. I mean, like, if you can't see the bullshit by now from these organizations and what they're trying to do, even the whistleblower was who was speaking the other day in Congress, talking about how Fauci knew about, like, I mean, I'm not going to rehash the past thing about 2020 and all that stuff, but it's so obvious that these people were all in it together, all making money, and they're all gophers, really. That's all they are. They don't know the end goal of all of this. This is just a part of the one piece of the puzzle. But me personally, I don't buy any of it. Yes, I know there are viruses. I know there are diseases. I personally believe a lot of them were created. I don't think there was this many, possibly many years ago. This is just a theory of mine. Yes, there is bacteria. Yes, there are all these things that have been created in this matrix. But I don't believe even the AIDS virus, I think that was a man-made virus. I know I'm going to get called a conspiracy guy for those who don't know me well, but they were created to knock off people. If you can't see that by now, this is part of the evil people who run, that's part of their plan. The evil ones who run this place, who are in cahoots with something that people can't even put their put their head around. But so don't be fearful, because that's what they want. That's what they want you to be, is living in fear, so that you run to get the next dose of whatever the hell it is they want to sell us. That's my advice to you. I mean, always, obviously, do what you want to do, but and they even say that the next one's going to be worse, you know. I think the last one that they tried to pull on us was the monkeypox shit, calling it disease X, and everyone's like, you know, losing their shit. And then they're talking about it's only passed through by homosexual men, and oh my God, it's just one fucking thing after another, in my opinion. You gotta like try to, you know, block out the noise, because these idiots are gonna try over and over again, and they want to sell their poison to people. So, and also more control. That's the inevitable part of it. They want to do more treaties. I think they got most countries to sign that treaty with the World Health Organization, which basically gives them control over individual governments, which is insane. Which means the people have no say whatsoever. They're always trying to decentralize power more and more and more, and it's through these events that they do that, right? Which again is through fear. And when someone fears something, they look for authorities and people to take care of it and resolve the problem, rather than the people looking at themselves and saying, no, we can handle this shit. But that's just my thoughts on this. The Hantavirus, I don't see it going anywhere. I think a lot of, like I mentioned earlier, there's been people saying that it's not a serious illness. They even said, I mean, remember the COVID thing? Years later, they were like, oh, we made a mistake. It's not a 4%, whatever, you know, what do you call it? Deadly percentage or something like that. It's only 1% or 2%, which is just like the flu. Now, I'm not saying nothing happened. There was no, but you know, the only possibility is that they redesignated the name, or something new did come into the air, you know, into the public, into society. But anyway, whatever. That's just my 2 cents about Hantavirus. Let me know what your thoughts are about it. They're going to keep trying with more and more things. This is just another one that will probably be put behind us. They will probably try to release a vax for it, so be wary of that. Anyways, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next one soon. Bye for now.